We see customers find voice a really important service that they use. It's something that I think it's really impactful to the end user. When you want to make a voice call, it's really you want to make it then and there. So that's quite important. The other thing is, I mean, I would say, as you say, we're well known for data. So we've got a good plan, and we've spoken about that probably for a couple of years now about how we're going to provide a really good data experience. And we recognise, as I say, that customers do, our customers do really value voice. It's something very immediate. So we want to make sure that we cover all of our needs of our customers and make sure they have a great experience on both data and also on voice. When we launched LTE, it was with CSFB, so falling back to the 3G network. And on our 3G network, we already have HD voice. And we've seen that the actual voice performance on our LTE network has been really good, as in when it falls back to 3G. It's worked very well. We've been really pleased with it. The setup times, I mean, I think it was only a small difference between just native 3G, so on par with 2G. So overall, the voice experience on LTE has been very good. And so what that means is that we don't need to migrate onto voice over LTE from an experience perspective. Also, we already have HD voice, and that's a lot of quite a few countries have also announced voice over LTE as HD voice, and we already have that. So what we're going to do is we're looking to move to voice over LTE when it's mature and when the experience is really good. So we're looking. So it will probably be some next year sometime. In Tech City in London, so we built an LTE advanced carrier aggregation network, 17 sites I think, with 2600, 2x20 of 2600 and 2x20 of 1800, so a full 2x40, two full LTE carriers. So we got some really high speeds in terms of the, I think it was up to 300 megabits per second. So that's what we've got in Tech City, and we've given some of we're working with quite a few of the small companies there and giving them access to that network and routers and so on to just get them to use that kind of speed to play with it and just to see what we're doing. And we're looking on building that with an LTE carrier aggregation rollout in the centre of London later this year. So we've probably got more to say about NFV at this stage. We like the idea. We already have some virtualized platforms in the network and some applications that already run on virtual platforms. Quite a few of those are applications we've developed in-house. So we did have them on separate servers, we put them on shared ones, and that works well. It's quite a flexible way to do things. So we think that it's an interesting technology for the future. We quite like it in terms of gives us some flexibility. There's some other benefits we can look at in terms of potentially the way you scale the network, or maybe you can build different resilience models into the network, or different kind of service functions, kind of flexibility for different kind of users. So we're exploring those kind of things as well. We think it's interesting. We already have a working mobile core, so we're not looking to swap that out anytime soon, but we're certainly looking at the opportunities we can really make the use of an NFV. And there's still some questions there about maturity and about how you can manage the different, say, a virtualized core, how you can make sure all the different functions all work on a shared platform. So we've got some stuff to work through, but we're certainly keen to look at that. I think it's particularly useful for more customized functions. And it's probably the prime one, more customized functions, and we quite like the idea of, as I say, resilience and reliability and how you could use that kind of virtualized environment to enable that. So in terms of what we're doing, so we've obviously been the first for building out a 4G network. We're putting network differentiation at the heart of what we do. So we're clearly wanting to build on that, and we'll release, we'll build some LTE advanced features into the network, and then hopefully build on that towards 5G in the future as and when. So that's really our thinking, is just to make sure that we're continuing to get the best experience for our customers and have the best network that and that's what we want to do. So that's why we're interested in 5G. So we're involved in the 5G IC. So we're one of the So we're supporting that. So in terms of pure research in the UK, to try and bring what we're trying to do there is bring what an operator sort of understands, the things we can bring. You've got academics who understand very well radio waveforms and OFDM versus other different radio waveforms and so on, or antenna style. They talk about different sorts of antennas and all sorts of very, very technical things. What we can bring is our understanding of what customers want from a network, and also the other thing we can bring is our experience of. I think that sharing. We do a lot of sharing in the UK, more than probably most countries have, and I think that that's going to become more important. So we can bring real-world experiences and of the good and the bad of sharing with your competitors and how you build that. And the other thing is just generally building networks and bring that insight into the academic arena, so that you get hopefully at the end of it we get a technology that is a great experience for the end users, but also is relatively straightforward to build and relatively straightforward to share with other operators as we need to, so it doesn't undermine, so that we can have a business relationship and a competitive relationship, and the technology makes that happen easily. In terms of the defining 5G, in terms of the people have put forward all these requirements about capacities, effectively unlimited capacity, effectively unlimited speeds, etc., etc. Lots of discussion about this latency point of talking about sub-millisecond. The idea tactile web is something people talk about. If you can, I think heard the CTO of I think it was KPN talking about merging the digital and the human lives. So that involves very, very low latency, so that you can interact in that way. So that might be something. I think another thing is the spreading of use cases. So mobile today that we've got came from consumer mobile. It's now being applied to different businesses. Obviously, corporates use it a lot. But you could still look at, say, that people talk. I've heard talk of professional LTE or industrial LTE. So an idea of building into LTE capabilities that work in either in sort of more safety environments, or in factories, or in oil refineries or something like that, where there's a degree of reliability requirement above and beyond what you would normally have in a consumer service. So I think that that's what 5G will do. It will enable mobile ubiquity across all sectors. I've enjoyed the event. It's been really interesting. I've spent probably a lot of my time at the LTE Advanced and the 5G areas, as well as hearing some of the keynotes. Lots of talk about what is 5G and so on. 5G is a research project, so I think if we all knew what it was today, then it probably wouldn't. It probably would be. It would be implementation rather than research. So, but yeah, so lots of discussion about what is 5G, some of the requirements there. LTE Advanced, quite a bit of discussion there about which are the features that people want to use beyond carrier aggregation, which is what we're doing. So yeah, it's been interesting to hear what people have said, and also walking around the floor, there's a lot of new companies in all sorts of different areas who are coming forward with new ideas, which is quite interesting.